Hi and welcome to my channel. Today we are working on a really cute Ludo face paint with matching teeth. So let's start off with how I built the teeth. I'm using a polymorph plastic which you just heat up in hot water and it gets clear and moldable. And I'm using that to go over my bottom teeth. I'm going to my farthest edge that I can comfortably wear them because I'm going to be painting the mouth larger and creating kind of this like underbite tooth. So I'm going to create one of those on both sides and I'm going to let it dry until it turns white again in my mouth to create this shape and make sure it looks really nice and has that thick underbite lip. I'm also going to be adding an extra chunk that's going to go in between the two teeth and actually help push out or bulge out my bottom lip a little bit. So that's what I'm putting in now. You can see it makes the bottom lip kind of bulge out, which is going to work in favor of this particular makeup. As it starts to dry, and you can see it getting clear or more opaque, you can see I'm just kind of doing the edges and making the edges a little nicer, cleaning it up. I'm going to glue down my brows for this look as well, so I'm just using a glue stick, and then I've got a mascara wand to kind of comb everything into place. And so you layer like that: glue stick, mascara wand, glue stick, mascara wand. Cover it all with foundation. My eyebrows are huge and bushy and never want to sit down quite right. So I've got that going for me. Next, we're going to powder it all in. So once I've got my foundation layer down, I'm going to powder everything in and make sure that foundation layer sticks and I've got a good foundation layer for the start of this makeup. If I need extra layers on the brows, I'm going to add extra layers of foundation and then powder in the brows a couple more times as well. Alright, I've taken out my teeth and I've looked at a picture of Ludo and where his biggest lines in his face are. So what I've done here is traced those lines that I think are super important, and then I blended them out. I put them on a brown foundation and then I blended out from there. And then I'm using a mid-tone foundation and mixing that and blending out as well. I've definitely picked stuff with cooler tones in it, which does not match my normal foundation color, but that's okay because we're going full creature makeup, so it doesn't have to match my skin tone because it's going to be a full face paint by the time we're done. So blending out those lines, and I'm going to powder everything back in. Now that I've kind of got a basis for his face shape, I can start moving into some of the paint. Like I said, a lot of his paint seemed to have, or his makeup seemed to have like a cooler undertone to it. So I looked at the pictures really closely and I noticed kind of like a blue-green underneath. So that's what I'm doing to map out my base, is this like blue-green color. And then I'm going in with some white as well and doing some white paint detailing. The white is going to act as my highlight, and all of this will start to get blended in and mixed together as we go a little further as well. I'm going to paint in his nose, the tip of his nose. Today I'm using Graftobian's Pro Paints for the entirety of my look outside of my foundation. So Next, I'm using that same brown paint. I'm going to do light, careful flicks upward. He's got a lot of wrinkles and a lot of texture in his face, so I'm trying to kind of capture that in my layers of paint. So this open part will be like his open mouth and the wrinkles around it. Once I start to get my lines all where I want them to be, I'm then going to start blending them out. You can see I've got a flat brush that I was doing a little bit of blending. If the paint is all the way dry, I can lightly dampen that brush and then blend by just like gently tapping on top of my painted lines, which you can see me doing again here. So I'm going to paint my lines in, and then I'm going to tap them out where I feel like they need to blend a little bit more. The rest of the paint process is kind of following these steps. I'm going in, I'm drawing my lines, I'm blending them out if they need to be blended. Around the eyes, I'm doing some more hatch work. I've got lines going down and lines going across. Here we have me painting in the inside of the mouth. Just doing a pretty generic, just black for the inside of the mouth. Here's some of that hatch work I was talking about. We're doing some up and some down, some across, getting it all in there. You can see the shapes of the face starting to fill out on one side compared to the other because I'm working heavily on one side at this point. So you can see the face starting to come together. Here I'm really defining the lip. I'm going underneath with, I think I have a watered down black paint, and outlining that lower lip because that's a super prominent one, and then I'm going to blend that out as well so that it has a shaded and shadowed appearance without having a bold outline. I don't want to make it look cartoonish. I'm going for realism as much as possible, and taking a chicken nugget break because chicken nuggets are my whole life. The nose was one part that I was really determined to reshape. So you can see I'm taking in the sides of my nose so that the bottom looks really wide and stays really wide, which is not a problem for me because I have a wide nose. And then I'm tapering and narrowing up at the top. I also want to create this muzzle-like shape, so I'm leaving a lot of light colors right above my Cupid's bow and doing dark colors down into the edges of my nose to the outer corners of my mouth, which is going to give it that pushed forward muzzle look. Now I'm going in with some brown paint and kind of smudging that out to sink the eyes in deeper, and then I'm going to go in with some brown shadows as well, kind of blend that all out and make it look nice. The forehead was a rough one for me. I felt like there weren't as many lines, but I definitely still needed to get some texture in there and have it, you know, look like it matched the colors of the rest of the piece. Here we go, blending those eyes. I noticed that his eyelid shape was quite a bit different as well. So here I'm going in to add a highlight above the perceived eyelid, not my natural eyelid, to kind of help reshape my eyes to match his eyes. Kind of this high arch. Add in our teeth. See how everything's feeling. Feeling pretty decent. There we go. We got ourselves a cute little Ludo. Da, 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 da. Time for a hair. As always, stay hydrated. And for hair, I'm going to use my natural hair. Or my unnatural hair attached to my head. Whatever you prefer. and I'm going to micro crimp it. Micro crimping is an awesome way to make your hair huge with just a heat styling tool and no teasing and not a lot of product or hairspray. So I'm going through and micro crimping my whole head to just make my hair super huge. I feel like this kind of matches the late 80s, early 90s aesthetic of the Labyrinth. So if I'm doing a Ludo style character, this is a cute way to kind of match that. So I'm putting little pigtails on top to kind of mimic his ears. And then I'm adding these cute little curly horns, much smaller than Ludo's actual horns, but this is a stylized look, and I was doing it for another Mckenzie's Makeup challenge, so I only had a week to put it together. And here we go. So cute. Big roars, little roars. I hope you enjoyed today's walkthrough. If you enjoyed today, please make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, do the thing, and I will see you next time.